माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी गिरिवारी जय गोपी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय यशोदानन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यशोनन्दन व्रज जन रञ्जन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class, and I seek blessings from all the senior devotees assembled here, so that I can speak something meaningful on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are reading from the Canto 5, Chapter 6, text number 18. राजन्पतिर्गुरुमलं भवतां यदूनां दैवं प्रिया कुलपति क्वच किंकर वा। अस्त्वेवं अंग भगवान् भजतां मुकुन्दा मुक्तिं ददाति कर्हिचित् स्मन भक्ति योगम्। राजन्पतिर्गुरु अलं भवतां यदूनां दैवं प्रियः कुलपतिः क्वच किंकरावः। भगवान् भजतां मुकुन्दा मुक्तिं ददाति करहिचित् स्मन भक्ति योगा। Rajan patirgurumalam bhavatam yaduna Daivam priya kulapatihi kvacha kinkara Astvevam anga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda Muktim dadati karhi smana bhakti yoga Patim gurumalam bhajatam yagunam Daivam priya kulapati kvacha kinkarava Astveva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda Muktim dadati karhi smana bhakti yogam Rajan patir gurumalam bhavatam yaduna Daivam priya kulapati kvacha kinkaro vaha Asteva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda Muktim dadati karhi smana bhakti yoga Mataji Rajan patir gulmalam bhavatam yaduna Daivam priya kulapati kvacha kinkaro va Evam anga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda Muktim dadati karhi smana bhakti yoga What meaning? Rajan, O my dear king, Patihi, maintainer, Guru, spiritual master, Alam, certainly, Bhavatam, of you, Yadunam, the Yadu dynasty, Daivam, the worshipable deity, Priyaha, very dear friend, Kulapatihi, the master of the dynasty, Kvacha, sometimes even, Kinkaraha, servant, Vaha, of you the Pandavas, Astu, to be sure, Evam, thus, Anga, O king, Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, Bhajatam, of those devotee engaged in service, Mukandaha, the Lord, the supreme personality of Godhead, Muktim, liberation, Dadati, delivers, Karhichit, at any time, Sma, indeed, Na, not, Bhakti Yogam, the loving devotional service. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Sukadev Goswami continued, My dear king, the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Person Mukunda is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandavas and the Yadu dynasty. He is your spiritual master, the worshipable deity, friend, and the director of your activities. To share nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or a servant. This means he walked just as ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but He doesn't very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto Him. Purport. While instructing Maharaj Parikshit, Sukadev Goswami thought it wise to encourage king because the king might be thinking of the glorious position of various royal dynasties. Especially the glorious is the dynasty of Priyavrata in which the Supreme Lord Rishavdev incarnated. Similarly, the family of Uttanpad Maharaj, the father of Maharaj Dhruva, is also glorious due to King Prithu taking birth in it. The dynasty of Maharaj Raghu is glorified because Lord Ramachandra appeared in that family. As far as the Yadu and Kuru dynasty are concerned, they existed simultaneously, but of the two, the Yadu dynasty was more glorious due to the appearance of Lord Krishna. Maharaj Parikshit might have been thinking that the Kuru dynasty was not as fortunate as others, because the Supreme Lord did not appear in that family. Neither as Krishna, Lord Ramchandra, Lord Rishabdev or Maharaj Prithu. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj was encouraged by Sukadev Goswami in this particular verse. The Kuru dynasty may be considered more glorious due to the presence of devotees like 5 Pandavas who render unalloyed devotional service. Although Lord Krishna didn't appear in the Kuru dynasty, he was so obliged to the Pandavas' devotional service that he acted as a maintainer of the family, the spiritual master of the Pandavas. Although he took birth in Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna was more affectionate to the Pandavas. By his actions, Lord Krishna proved that he was more inclined to the Kuru dynasty than the Yadu dynasty. Indeed, Lord Krishna, indebted to the Pandavas' devotional service, sometimes acted as their messenger and he guided them through many dangerous situations. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit should not have been saddened because Lord Krishna didn't appear in his family. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always inclined towards his pure devotee, and by his action, he is clear that liberation is not very important for the devotee. Lord Krishna easily gives one liberation, but it doesn't so easily give one the facility to become a devotee. Muktim dadati karhichit smana bhakti yoga. Directly or indirectly, it is proved that bhakti yoga is the basis for the supreme relationship with the Supreme Lord. It is far superior to liberation. For a pure devotee of the Lord, mukti is automatically attained. For the pure devotee, mukti is automatically attained. Hare Krishna. So, this chapter we are reading right now, activities of Lord Rishabdev, and previous to this chapter also, next chapter it was the teachings of Lord Rishabdev, and actually this chapter begins in the previous chapter. If you see Rishabdev, when he was practicing Bhakti Yoga, all kind of yogic potency automatically comes to him, but he neglects those yogic potency. So then Parikshit Maharaj got a question in his mind that whole world is running after this yogic potency and it is coming to Rishabdev. So why he is neglecting? So that was the question of Parikshit Maharaj. If you read Journey Home, Radhanath Maharaj writes there, when he was practicing his austerity in Himalayas, he used to write that there were so many yogis, and Maharaj is saying live to all the yogi and they were elevating themselves. Means they were sitting in the sky. Can you imagine? And more the height of the elevation, that means more has his yogic potency. So the whole world is running, they are living everything and they are sitting in the Himalayas in the forest. But here, Rishabdev is getting all those yogic potency. Anima, Laghima, and becoming a small, becoming a huge, can fly in the sky. But he rejects everything. So Parikshit Maharaj getting a question in his mind that what is the reason why he rejecting everything? He can have used it, right? So then Sukadev Goswami is answering to the question of Parikshit Maharaj in this chapter. He tells that never trust the mind. So Rishabdev is himself God, he is not a normal person. So he is teaching through his activities that even though you may get lot of facility and yogic potency, but there is a high chance that the mind may cheat you. So that's how Sukadev Goswami warns here in this chapter that never trust the mind. Just like he gives an analogy, in the forest sometime the hunter capture a wild animal. But he will never put trust on the wild animal because the wild animal is waiting for a chance to escape. And the moment the wild animal gets a chance, he pounces on that hunter and he kills that hunter only and he escapes. Similarly, if you put trust on the mind, the moment the mind gets a chance, the mind takes shelter of material enjoyment. And that's how it's very dangerous to put trust on the mind. Then again, he gives another example that if a lady have a paramour and she has an husband, then it's very dangerous if you put trust on such kind of a lady. Any partner, it may be in today's language. So the moment he or she gets a chance, immediately he can kill the partner because he or she has invested his heart in somebody else. So mind is like that because so many vasanas of so many lifetime it has there in the database that even though we are practicing devotional service, if we will put our full trust on the mind, the moment it get a chance, it may again hook into those bad impressions of our past sinful activity. That's what here Sukadev Goswami gives a warning against the mind. And then he gives so many examples that what to speak of normal sadhaka, even big yogis, they have fallen down. Like Saubhari Muni, he was doing tapasya in the water and then he got attracted to a fish and fell down. And then he gave the example of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, he was enticed by the Mohini avatar. So what to speak? Can't, because Lord Shiva told that I have full trust. I can see the Mohini avatar. So Vishnu was laughing, giving a smile. That are you confident? Yes, I am confident. I am Lord Shiva. And then when Vishnu becomes Mohini avatar, then Lord Shiva just runs behind Mohini avatar. And knowingly Lord Vishnu runs in the hermitage of the yogis who are the devotees of Lord Shiva. And showing them that just see, your Lord, he is running behind me. And Shiva was totally humbled by Mohini avatar. So it's a Sukadev Goswami giving this example. Just see, if Lord Shiva could become victim of mind or victim of this Maya, then what is you? So never trust your mind. So these all things are warning are given in the beginning just to practicing sadhaka so that we can be very careful of our mind. And then this verse, immediately this verse is a turning point because something the theme was going and immediately he started glorifying Lord Krishna in this verse. So then question comes that why suddenly this verse comes and directly he is talking about Krishna, that Krishna is your guru, Krishna is your maintainer, Krishna is your this, that. So the question arises here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Pad, he also gives the hidden reason behind why this verse comes suddenly, and Prabhupada also tells in the purport. He tells because when all this Rishabdev's pastime are happening, it's normal, right? If somebody will tell something about your peer or your neighbor or your relatives, then you also feel that I should also have that. Just like somebody will tell something then automatically it's a human desire that you feel that I should also have that. So he is glorifying all the dynasties of Swayambhuva Manu, that in the dynasty of Devahuti, Kapil Dev came in the dynasty of Devahuti. Then in the dynasty of Akuti, Yajna came, the Lord came. Again in the dynasty of Prasuti, Sati came. She got married to Lord Shiva. Again in the dynasty of Uttanpat, Prithu Maharaj himself came. Again in the dynasty of Priyavrata, Lord Rishav Dev came. And then not that. Again in the dynasty of Raghu, Lord Ramachandra came. And in the dynasty of Yadu dynasty, Lord Krishna came. And then Parikshit Maharaj, what about Kurus? We are so unfortunate. Nobody came in Kuru's dynasty. So here Parikshit Maharaj is going on in his mind. So what about Kurus? So being Sukadev Goswami is so exalted, pure devotee, and incarnation of kind of empower, incarnation of Lord Krishna. So Sukadev Goswami could understand what is going on in the mind. He could read the mind. So keeping this in the context, Sukadev Goswami is telling this verse that Baba, you are Kuru dynasty people, you are not an ordinary person. So then he tells that in Kuru dynasty, Rajan Patir Gurumalam Bhavatam Yadunam. So although Lord Krishna was born in Yadu dynasty, but he was more close to the Kuru dynasty. Half of his time he used to spend in the Kuru dynasty. So then he was telling how so many varieties of way he was serving the Kurus. So then he was telling example that he was the greatest Pati, Rajan Patir Gurumalam Bhavatam Yadunam, means he was the Pati. Pati means what? Maintainer. He was the greatest maintainer of the Kuru dynasty. And the Guru, he was the spiritual master of the Kuru dynasty. And Daivam Priya Kulapati Kwachakinkara. Daivam means he is the worshipable deity. All the Kurus, you all used to worship Lord Krishna as the deity. Kunti Devi used to worship Krishna. Priya, he was the best friend of you all. Daivam Priya Kulapati. Kulapati means he was the director of all your activities. He was day to day, he was available what to do, what not to do. And then Kinkara, he was the servant of Kuru dynasty. That is another height. He was the servant of Kuru dynasty. That is how Lord is so dear to the Kurus. And then in the third and fourth line, he was telling that, see, worshipping Lord is one thing, but Lord has given the personal association to all of you, and you all could directly render service to Krishna. That is so fortune, and that you all got. So much time Krishna spent in your homes, in the Pandavas' home. Sukadev Goswami tells one sloka that the yogis, they used to run in the speed of mind to capture Krishna. But that same Krishna used to spend time in the home of Pandavas. So the Pandavas' home is not different than any dham. Krishna used to eat prasad in the home of Pandavas. He used to sleep in the Pandavas' home. So that is how fortunate your home is. So he was telling, Astu eva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda. So many persons are doing bhajan to Mukunda. So many persons are doing bhajan, but muktim dadati karhichi smana bhakti yoga. Lord gives easily the mukti. Okay, you want something? Money, paisa, job, take it. Even liberation, take it. But muktim dadati karhichi smana bhakti yoga, but doesn't give bhakti. Lord gives bhakti with himself, because why? We'll discuss it. So, but you all Pandavas so fortunate that Lord was easily giving his access to all of you. Bhakti was accessible to all of you. That is how you are so fortunate. So why you are thinking like that? So let's try to discuss how Lord was helping Pandavas on all this perspective, what all is explained in the sloka. So the first thing Lord is telling, Rajan Patir. Patir means what? Maintainer. So how Lord Krishna was maintaining the Pandavas? When Pandu died, Kunti was a widow, and from the childhood, the Kurus, especially the Duryodhan, they were trying to kill the Pandavas, and they poisoned Bhima. But immediately Lord Krishna protected Bhima. And on contrast, Bhima was given the power of 10,000 elephant. When he was fell down in the Yamuna river, the king of the serpent, they gave the power. So Lord was always there to protect the Pandavas. And the Kurus, they tried to kill all the Pandavas in the Lakshagraha. Again, Lord protected Pandavas. And then when especially when Draupadi was disrobing, when they were trying to disrobe Draupadi, that time Krishna was there in the Dwarka and he was having his lunch. And Draupadi was trying his level best to save herself, but Dushasan was pulling the saris. And Draupadi tried his level best, but one point came, Draupadi realized that I can't protect myself. Eh, what is the power of Draupadi in front of a Dushasan? He has the power of an elephant. So then Draupadi thought that let me pray to Krishna only. Krishna will protect me. And Draupadi with full shelter trying to pray Krishna. But till that time she was holding her sari. So Krishna was taking lunch. And Rukmani tells that, Are, your devotee is in danger. Go and help her. Then Krishna, yeah, I know. But Krishna was waiting for a moment. And Draupadi started lifting one hand. And with another hand, she used to hold the sari. And then Rukmani tells, come on, go and protect Draupadi. She's in danger. Krishna, I know. And then Draupadi realized that if I couldn't handle with the two hand, what I'll do with the one hand? Let whatever happen, let me fully surrender to Krishna. And then with two hands, she raises her hand. And then he started chant loudly, Govinda, please protect me. And the moment Rukmani tells, Are, go and help. And Krishna was not there. And Krishna was immediately at Hastinapur in the form of sari. Krishna was protecting Draupadi. So that's how Krishna is teaching that when you are helplessly surrendered to me, immediately I am there to protect you. And this we can see in this pastime of Draupadi. So Krishna was maintaining the Pandavas in every form. And then here comes Patir Guru. Guru means was spiritual master. Krishna was the greatest spiritual master to the Pandus. We can see how in the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita comes into play. So Arjuna was giving so many reasons to Krishna. Come on, this is adharma, and the Varna Sankar will happen. And how have you killed your Guru Sandipani Muni, or have you killed your grandfather? So how can you tell me to kill our Guru Dronacharya, our grandfather Pitama Bhishma? Come on. Then Arjuna was giving so many reasons to Krishna. But at one point, Arjuna realized that I can't handle the situation. And he breaks down and he starts crying. And that time Krishna tells, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena. Till this point, Krishna was like a friend to Arjuna. So Arjuna was challenging. But now Krishna tells that, Baba, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti. When you Tadvidhi pranipatana, when you surrender to me and start serving, and then humbly you will put question, then only the knowledge will flow. So that famous pastime comes now when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was there in his ashram. One famous businessman comes and he challenges, Swamiji, I have a lot of questions. Can you please answer all these questions? So then that time Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells that, actually I have lot many services to do. Can you please help me cleaning all these vessels? Then that big businessman, okay. So then he starts cleaning the vessels in the kitchen. And while cleaning all that vessels, because if you want to clean the vessels, you have to become humble, right? It's not so easy. You are from such a big, rich person and you have to bartan ghisna padega. Then you have to become really humble. And by the course of cleaning all those vessels, when he completed, then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur tells, okay, what was your question? He tells that it was answered. I got the answer. So this is very important that to come to a spiritual master, we have to be really humble. Then only the knowledge will flow from higher potential to the lower potential. Otherwise, it will not flow. So that's what here Krishna tells Arjuna, you have to be humble and surrender. Then only you will understand all these things. And Arjuna takes that position. Okay, please guide me. And then Krishna starts Sakam Karma Yoga, Nisgam Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Astanga Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all that technical things Krishna tells, and then Arjuna follow what Krishna wanted to do that. So Krishna is the greatest guru to the Pandavas family. And then the then the third thing comes here, Daivam. In the third line, second line, if you say Daivam, Daivam means Krishna was the worshipable deity of the Pandavas. So when the Mahabharata war has happened and Krishna planned to go to Dwarka, Mata Kunti comes and started offering such an beautiful prayers in Srimad Bhagavatam. And the prayers when Mata Kunti was offering to Krishna, Krishna was bound by those prayers and Krishna postpones his departure. Just imagine Kunti's prayer, how he was offering to the Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead. And when Krishna was winding up his pastime, the great grandson of Krishna, Vajranath, the Vajranath was ordered by Lord himself that you make the deities of me and install in Vrindavan. That is how this Madan Mohan deity, Radha Govind deity, all this Gokulanand, Gopinath, all these deities were personally carved by Vajranath. As a Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead. To establish this, he carved and established in Vrindavan. The Lord is the Daivam for the Kuru dynasty, for the whole mankind. Priya. Priya means what? Friend. So you can understand how come. Who is the friend of Lord Krishna in the Pandavas? Arjuna. So it is mentioned in the first canto only. When in the Gita also it comes. When Krishna shows the Virat Rup, because in the 10th chapter Krishna tells that how I am the beauty of all the things what you are seeing, the sun and moon, they are like my eyes. So when he tells about all the vibhuti in the 11th chapter, Arjuna gets a desire. Just like when you hear so many things, then you get a desire to see, right? So recently I've been to Vrindavan for 2 days. So I was spending time, I was giving time to one guest here, and I was taking them around the Vrindavan forest. And I was telling, first time he came to India, he was from London, born and brought up, but Indian origin. So I was telling about the Vrindavan, Dham, Krishna, all this pastime. And then after 2 days, he was about to fly to London. He told that, Prabhuji, you told so many details about Vrindavan. Just I want to see the original Vrindavan before I go to London. Can you please help me? So then I told him, my God, original Vrindavan, so far. So then okay, because he has such an intense desire. So then I asked our authority, they told, okay, please help him because he has such an intense desire. Then I took him to the original Vrindavan, and in 2 days, fast forward way, I just showed them the Vrindavan, Varsana, Govardhan. And then at the last day I was asking, because he was again going to London, so what is your experience? You saw Vrindavan in 2 days, you saw Govardhan Eco Village, and 2 days you saw Vrindavan Dham. You are going back. So what is your experience? He told me one sentence, Prabhuji, it's really humbling to see this Vrindavan Dham. The dedication of the devotees here, it is totally a different world. Especially when he saw that Govardhan Parikrama and the devotees, they were doing Dandavat Parikrama. And one point he saw that, what is this? There is so many stones are there and he is doing Dandavat Parikrama at one point only. Why you are wasting the time? You should go forward, right? He was asking question. I told Baba, he will do Dandavat Parikrama 1008 times at the same spot today only. And tomorrow he will go the next 6 feet. Say, what is that? This is called Dandavat Parikrama, 1008 times Dandavat Parikrama. And by this he will cover the whole Govardhan Parikrama, what you are covering in the vehicle right now. What you are doing in the 2 hours, for him it will take 40 years to come. If we'll do Dandavat Parikrama at one place 108 times, it will take 4 hours. If we'll do 1008 times, it will take minimum 40 years to complete. That means that is his life and soul. Just like every day we are chanting 16 round every day. So for him, every day 1008 times is his 16 round. And that is the life he has dedicated to Govardhan Maharaj. So without fail every day. And while doing Govardhan Parikrama, it rained in Vrindavan. So then we stopped at one place, but that Baba, he didn't stop. In that rain also he was doing his Dandavat. So he was totally taken aback that what he will get. But something he's getting, right? That's what he's doing. In the rain, in the mud, also he's doing his 1008 Dandavat Parikrama. Just see the dedication. He tells, Prabhuji, this is different world only. I can't imagine also the dedication what these people are doing. Every speck of Vrindavan is filled with devotion, he told. And then he told, it's really humbling. We may be earning lots of money in the outside world, but seeing these people's dedication, it humbled me. Nobody is humbled in my life, but this person has humbled me, he told. And he told that, I'll make sure that every 2-3 years I'll definitely come, and I want to bring my whole family to this place, and I want to show them that what is devotion actually. So really, so that's what is devotion of Vrindavan, and you can see here. So Lord was the friend. So why I told this story? Priya. So Lord was telling to Arjuna Bhagavad Gita. So when Arjuna was seeing the universal form, that time Arjuna was become so fearful. And Arjuna tells that, my Lord, I was thinking you as a friend. We ate in the same plate. We slept in the same bed. Please forgive me. You are the God. I never thought like that. So Arjuna was telling all these things. So Lord was the friend of Arjuna. They used to eat in the one plate. They used to share the prasadam together. And they used to sleep in the one bed. Can you imagine Krishna and Arjuna? So Lord was the greatest friend of Arjuna, and then Lord was the Kulapati. Kulapati means director of Arjuna. Means whatever action, activities the Pandavas to do, Lord is to personally direct him. That do this, kill Karna right now. So Arjuna was telling, come on, he's a armless, how can I kill? And I am telling you, kill Karna. So Arjuna killed Karna there. So personally, each and every activity Krishna directed the Kurus. And when the Pitama Bhishma took a vow that next day with these 5 arrows I'll kill the whole Pandavas. So Arjuna was sleeping very nicely, peacefully. But Krishna was not sleeping, he was in tension. What to do tomorrow, Bhishma Dev will kill, and he is also my devotee. And then Krishna tells Arjuna, wake up in the middle of the night, go to Duryodhana and ask the 5 arrows. So middle of the night, Arjuna, goes to the Duryodhana. And Duryodhana tells that, what you want, Arjuna? You want to take in charity the whole kingdom? Arjuna, no, I don't want charity, I will fight. Then what you want? Middle of the night you are coming. So I want those 5 arrows, what Pitama Bhishma has given you. So Duryodhana was totally confused and was thinking, how come he knew? And then Duryodhana understood, my God, the greatest person, Krishna, is there in the side of the Pandavas. And Duryodhana gave those 5 arrows because he has given a vow that whatever Arjuna will ask, I will fulfill that. Because Arjuna protected Duryodhana from the when they were attacked by the Gandharvas. And when the next day Pitama Bhishma asks, give me that 5 arrows. Today I will finish the whole Pandavas. Duryodhana tells, what 5 arrows? I have given to Arjuna in the night only. Pitama Bhishma started laughing. That the God, the supreme personality of this whole universe is in the side of the Pandavas. What I can do? Nothing will happen right now. God, case is gone. I can't kill the Pandavas anymore. So God was at every step, he was the director of the activities of the Pandavas. What to do, what not to do. Just come on. He's telling the Parikshit Maharaj, this was Krishna. Krishna was directing each and every moment to your families. Why you are thinking like that? Krishna was not there in your family. And Kinkar, this is the highlight. Sukadev Goswami is telling, Daivam Priya Kulapati Kvacha Kinkarava. Kvacha Kinkarava. But all these things are okay to certain extent.
But the height is that Lord was servant of your dynasty. He was like a servant, he was serving your dynasties. How Lord was servant? Baba, he was the messenger. Messenger means you send a normal person, right? He was ready to become your messenger and you went to Duryodhan just to tell that spare the Pandavas the 5 villages. Who will do? The Supreme Personality of God is becoming a post peon for you and going to the king and begging to forgive them. And the Duryodhan was offending Krishna there in front of all. Still, Krishna was listening everything and telling, just give 5 villages. And Duryodhan tells, what about 5 villages? I'll not give a place where you can put a needle also. And then he tells that, then Krishna tells that actually Duryodhan is the root cause of everything. He tells to the Dhritarashtra and the Gandhari that if you will reject this one child, your 99 child will be protected. And that time Duryodhan become furious. This is so cunning fellow, brainwashing my parents also. So then he orders that capture this Krishna and put in the jail. He is the cause of all the things. And then Krishna shows with the Virat roop to Duryodhan. And Duryodhan tells that he is the greatest magician, not the God. That is how the God is standing in front of you, still he couldn't understand. And then Krishna takes another step. He becomes the chariot driver of Arjuna. Can you imagine? Chariot driver of Arjuna. And Arjuna is sitting behind. It's very tough. If a rich person, Ambani will never tell his driver to sit behind and I'll drive today car. It's a matter of ego. Ego doesn't allow that. But not to the driver. But Krishna becomes a driver and Arjuna. And one thing is that it's not like a car that you are driving. Left turn, right turn, it's a AC room. It was in the middle of a war. And suppose you are driving a chariot in the middle of the war, that means if you want to go to the left or right, then the person who is standing behind you, he has to kick you with the left leg. Then you will understand that I have to go left. Because there are so many horses, elephant, even though you will shout, the voice will not reach the chariot driver. Just imagine right now, 18 days, how many kicks Lord Krishna has got from Arjuna. Can you imagine in the back? So this is what Lord Krishna become for your dynasty. He become a servant and he got kicks of Arjuna in the chariot. So that is to that extent Lord Krishna has gone just to serve your dynasty. You are so fortunate. Why you are comparing with other dynasty, Rishav Dev, Prithu Maharaj, Kapil Dev? They came, they gave teachings, they went. But Krishna was personally serving your grandfathers. That was Krishna for your dynasty. So Sukadev Goswami was inspiring, motivating here to Parikshit Maharaj. Come on, you are so fortunate. So don't think like that way. Because this is also duty of a speaker when sees that audience is demotivated, he has to motivate so that the audience will enthusiastic to hear the katha. And then so many things, the Krishna Lila is there in the 10th canto is going to speak. So in between, this is one point where Sukadev Goswami is the greatest motivator, is motivating our Parikshit Maharaj so that he will become very enthusiastic and put forward so many questions now. And then in the second part of the sloka, so this is the first part of the sloka. In the second part of the sloka, Astu eva manga bhagavan bhajatam mukunda. So many person does bhajan of mukunda, bhajatam mukunda, but muktim dadati karhichit smana bhakti yoga. Lord easily gives mukti to everyone, but bhakti yoga, na bhakti yoga. He doesn't give bhakti yoga. He keeps aside bhakti yoga. The famous story we tell, when the king has a mood that, okay, today I want to give whatever my citizen will want from me. So many persons comes to the king and they ask so many things. I want money, I want a wife, I want a kingdom, I want a palatial building. Okay, king was giving to everybody. And one person tells, I want your friendship. What? Friendship? Side में आ जाओ थोड़ा. Okay, आगे आपको क्या चाहिए? So he was fulfilling all the material desire, but when a person asked about friendship, he thought for a while. Because friendship means you have to share everything, right? Friendship means practically everything belongs to that person. So then king tells, okay, I am your friend. And that person goes. And then after some time, sometime the king tells that, Are Minister Ji, that day I made that one person as my friend, right? Today I want to go to his home just to make the arrangement. Minister said, come on, king. That person lives in a forest with an thatched hut. It don't have any money only and no facility. How come you can go? You are the king of the whole world. How can you go to that person's house? Well, I don't know that all thing. He's my friend. Do the needful. And immediately one day they make a right road to his house. They make a palatial bungalow. They give all the money, facilities, servant, everything. And then the king goes and they meet the friend. So in one sense, that person has not asked anything to the king, but automatically kings gives everything. Why? Because he has a relationship. Similarly, in devotion, we don't hanker for all these material things, but it automatically comes to a devotee. Just like in the Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami gives a nice analogy that if you are making sweet rice in a firewood, in a firewood, if you are making a sweet rice, then in the process of making sweet rice, it will take 1 2 hour, but in that 1 2 hour, it will generate lot of ashes because it is firewood. It will generate lot of ashes. So nobody tells that, oh, I generate 1 kilo of ashes. They will tell that I made such a nice sweet rice, right? So the bhakti is like the sweet rice and the mukti is like the ashes. Rupa Goswami gives such a nice analogy in the Nectar of Devotion that when a person does bhakti, then automatically mukti is a byproduct of bhakti. Mukti Mukulita, it comes with a folded hand, please engage me in your service. So nobody thinks that mukti has come. It will automatically come and nobody pay attention to that. So that's how Lord gives mukti, facility, money, wealth, whatever you want, Lord gives everything. But when comes bhakti yoga, he thinks for a while. Why? Because he will come under the control of the devotee. He will think, na? The king will think, right? Similarly, Krishna also gives a thought. Baba, isko dena hai ki nahi? And otherwise, he will come under the control of that person. Just like Ambrish Maharaj, when he was challenged by Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni went to Lord Shiva, to Lord even Vishnu, and tells, protect from me the Sudarshan Chakra. Vishnu tells, I can't do. Why? Hey, Baba, this is your weapon only, na? I can't do. I am in the control of my devotee, Ambrish Maharaj. I am totally controlled by him. He has purchased me. If you want to get protected, go and ask forgiveness to Ambrish only. Then only you will get protected from Sudarshan this. That is how Lord is fully controlled by his pure devotee. That's how Bhakti Yoga is so rare. So rare. And while we are traveling in this path, there would be so many challenges will come, and Maya Devi will test in so many different perspectives, whether you want name, fame, prestige, wherever our vehicle will stop, there you will get that thing. But if you are focused, one pointed focus in the path of Bhakti Yoga, then at last, with a thorough test, Lord Krishna gives this rare jewel of Bhakti Yoga to his devotee. And that is how here you can control Lord Krishna, just like in Vrindavan. Krishna used to dance when the gopis used to clap. Can you imagine? Gopis used to tell, we will give you little butter. Krishna, you want to dance? Please dance, then we'll give. He is the master of the whole world. He's not getting butter to eat or what. But he is dancing like a small boy and he's moving his kamar hilate hilate naach rahe. Why? Just because he was controlled by the love of gopis. And that is how the bhakti is. And that is what here Sukadev Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, your whole dynasty, they were the pure devotees of Lord Krishna. Arjuna, Yudhishthir, and yourself, you were protected by Lord Krishna when you were in the womb of your mother. So come on, what you are thinking? You have purchased Krishna, you are Krishna is controlled by your devotion. You are not an ordinary person. You are the pure devotee. Don't think like that. And that's how Sukadev Goswami motivate Parikshit Maharaj so that Parikshit Maharaj can put forward a lot of questions, and the discussion of the Bhagavatam will continue further and it will proceed. Hare Krishna. With this, I want to end today's discussion here, class here. If anybody have any reflection or any comment or any question, please you can ask. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, we'll end class here. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you for engaging in the service.
So और भी वर्ष है ना